members of the council. Thank you for the time. We'll talk a little bit tonight about what we've done since council adopted a resolution at our last meeting with respect to a homeless task force. Over the last month, or up to today actually, Councilwoman Landers and I have been working on filling the homeless task force board of directors. And we were instructed by the resolution that there would be certain representatives from certain areas. And so we, since that's the law, it's probably a pretty good idea that council follows the law. We made sure that we were on that one. We also have some community members that we've asked to serve. And this will be the first. There are two groups according to the resolution that was passed. One is the board of directors, and secondly is a group called the task force. And we will add additional volunteers and helpers to the task force part. But what we were really looking at was people that had experience with the homeless population, either through shelter experience or experience through the business that they work for, and that we really use that as our kind of our guiding light in talking to these folks. Some of them, as you remember, were mandated by the resolution that would come from city departments. And the reason that was that way is that city departments can be instrumental in helping organizations like the Homeless Task Force to reach out in their area in terms of attracting funding. And so the group, and there are copies of this all around with it. Yeah, I've got one. You guys all have one? They're here. On the table over there. Well, anyway, I will read the names, and I'd like for the people that are here that are going to be part of this. And we had a little reception for folks just prior to the council meeting, and we will be having our first meeting either next week or the following week. Got to determine when it's better for most folks to be able to attend, since they have owned their own jobs too to the back. So I'm going to read these so you know. And we have 15 members that will serve as voting members of the board. 2 city council members, Councilwoman Landers, and myself. Economic development represented by Karen Satenga. Karen Satenga headed up the old homeless task force in its latter days, tried to keep it together, and she's coming back on. She has experience in that area. She is an economic development specialist. Community Development Department, Bailey County. Community development is funded by HUD. HUD has funds available to assist homeless projects, and that's why community development is important to be part of a project like this. I used to say that community development was one of the few departments that had any money. So obviously we want them to be part of this. And Leela is the director of that. County Council member Mikhail Vaughn will serve. Aspire, you're all familiar with Aspire and the services they offer. Dr. Mike Collette, who is chairman of their board, has agreed to serve on that council. Mike had a long career at Anderson University and has been very involved in other community committees such as redevelopment, things like that, as has his wife. Human and Civil Rights, Tammy Dixon Tatum is serving. The Christian Center, Rob Spalding is the director. Anderson Housing Authority, Kim Townsend is the director. Anderson Housing Authority, of course, handles federal funding vouchers. And as a result of the last task force, at one point we were able to get some vouchers from Anderson Housing that assisted folks that were ready to come out of the shelter to find a place to live. And that's very important. And so Kim Townsend has agreed to serve, and she is the director. The First Nazarene Church, we were required under the resolution to have a full-time minister from the local church. Joey Claus, no relation to Santa. Joey is serving from the First Nazarene Church as the representative from the ministerial commission.
An adopted elf.
Excuse me?
An adopted elf.
He's an adopted elf.
No doubt. He's a nice young fellow. We met with him the other day. Anderson Center, Marion Teixeira is here. Anderson Center, of course, is Substance Abuse Treatment Center. Substance abuse is right in the middle of all the issues that get involved with people becoming homeless. We need that expertise. Alternatives Inc., Director John Lee. Alternatives is a domestic violence shelter here in Anderson. Actually, I've worked with them for a long time. They're excellent at what they do. Jane Pauley Center's representative will be Heather Waymeyer. She is here tonight. And this afternoon, we secured the services of the Madison County Veteran Service Officer to deal with veterans' homeless issues, which are substantial. And we will join the commission. We wanted to make sure that veterans were on the top of the list of people that we could try to help. And he agreed to serve today, and we're very, very pleased with that. We have a community member by the name of Tamara Strong. She has quite a story. Someday maybe you should hear it. But Tamara will tell you she was homeless. And she did come up through the system. And now she manages a store here in Anderson. So she's a success story. And what can be done if we do that. Now, there were other people considered, and other good people considered, but with the restrictions that the resolution placed in terms of the groups we had to have represented, it didn't leave us with a lot of room, and we did not want to get a group that was so big it was unwieldy that we couldn't, get things done, because that's what this is about, is helping people who are homeless and try to help them off the street and help them move forward with their lives. So I will tell you that we've already had a success. That's kind of interesting. Many of you that attend the council or pay attention to it know that we had a fellow that came to council last month, and he said there was a homeless camp right outside his fence in the backyard. So I said, hey, I'll come out and talk with you. So I went out and visited with him, and we walked out to where this was, and it was on 53rd Street, in the general area of 53rd Street, east of Columbus. There's what was a used car lot called S&S Cars, I think. It seems to be abandoned today. It was in that lot behind that, real close to the Remax Real Estate Company. And this worked just perfect. I happen to have a meeting scheduled with the mayor. I was going to bring that up with him. The mayor said I've already been there. So he had already been there before, about the same day that I was there. And I think he contacted his police department, which have to be involved in order to start a process called trespassing. And those guys were out like that. I met with him on Friday, and I think they were out there that day. They gave the 3 occupants of this camp, it was tents, it was some wooden structure framing with canvas, and gave them 72 hours to move on. Now, the good part of this is this. One of them got into the Christian Center. One of them got in a program at Aspire, which included housing. And there was the third one, it was a lady, I don't know where she went. So 2 out of the 3, assuming they're still there, are in a place where they can get some help. And that's what this is all about. So we're very, very pleased with that work. police department did their part, the mayor did his part, and those folks now have opportunities to, kind of look at life and see if they can't move on down the road. So that's a success. We will have failures because it's a very, very emotional type situation. And, but we'll do the best we can. Can't do any more than that, but we will try to help the situation here, neighbors. Any questions?
Real quick for the members that are on this board committee task force. If you're here, raise your hand real quick. I just want to applaud you guys. Thank you guys very, very much. And Greg for putting this together. We started this with a resolution in December. And we're here now in March. We've already got a big goal, which is awesome. It never happens that way. Usually it just drags on for years and nothing happens. We're already seeing success stories, which is, so I commend you guys. This is a big deal. It's a big problem. So
It is a big deal, and I want to tell you, Rachel was good help, really good help. We visited several of these people in person, sit down and talk with them, and got a real feel for their heart and their feeling about us. So I think we're going to have a good group. Doesn't mean we'll always agree, but we'll get moving forward. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Okay, we're going to get started with ordinances, and I've asked the council and the